Hi, my name is Becky Jennings, and this is the ResponseABLE Parenting Podcast. I give you the transformational tools to stop reacting to your children in the moment and start responding with intention. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the ResponseABLE Parenting Podcast. My name is Becky Jennings. Today, we are talking about empathy and why it is so hard to use this as our first go-to strategy. So I first want to say what empathy is. Empathy is basically being able to see something from another person's perspective, to, in a non-judgmental way, be able to really feel what they might be experiencing, step into their experience, their reality, their shoes, and recognize, oh, wow, that's how they must be feeling. I didn't see it from that perspective, but I could see how that could be true. And really feeling into that person's experience. Now, this isn't our usual go-to strategy. And depending on how you were raised, it's probably because you weren't shown empathy from your caregiver when you were a child. There are so many phrases like, oh, well, get back on the bike, or, oh, you're okay, when somebody falls down and they're bleeding and they're like, get back up. You're not that bad. Dust yourself off. There's so many of these phrases. You're a big boy, toughen up. Or it's not that bad. Meanwhile, the child is bloodied and screaming and they're like, it's just a little cut, like another one, put some dirt in it and move on, right? There are so many things that were basically like, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, keep on trucking down the line, because we didn't have any of the skills to show empathy. And it didn't feel natural to our parents because they weren't shown empathy. So we didn't get shown empathy because that wasn't a skill that was learned. Empathy is, in fact, a skill. Most of us operate from a self-preservation standpoint where we're really focused on our needs, our feelings, how to fix the situation so that we feel more comfortable, versus taking the time to step into somebody else's experience, sitting in that discomfort. That is something we do not like to do, to sit in discomfort, because it's not a good feeling. And most of us want to move away from bad feelings as fast as possible, even though that's where all the juicy learning growth parts is in the discomfort. So sitting in empathy can be very uncomfortable for a lot of us because it was not modeled to us. And oftentimes it's like, how can I fix it while also using empathy? How can I let my child know that they're seen, heard, understood? But how can we end this discomfort? How can we end this frustrating moment? And that is when we're jumping into compassionate problem solving. And we skip the step a lot of the time of just sitting in empathy. When we sit in empathy, we are allowing our child to experience the human feeling that they are having. And we are allowing their brain to wire in a way that says, I can trust the sensations in my body. I am not being shamed and I am not bad for having this sensation. And they can then learn from that experience and say, I know it's safe for me to do this. I know it's safe for me to feel this, and I shouldn't suppress it. And I don't need to mask it to make other people happy. I can truly live a human experience because I know I'm safe. And my parent just saw it. They saw it and they validated that it was true. It was a true experience. So I know that I can start to trust my body sensations. I know I can start to trust those feelings inside of me and not shut them down to make another person feel better. Empathy is a massive tool for self-esteem, for that growth in our child, because a lot of people aren't seeing them for who they are. They're not seeing their experiences, and they're not sitting over here. Friends aren't validating, just, sitting there. Oh, I feel your feelings. They're moving on. They're in their own spaces, or they're telling them that that is not a valid experience and maybe making fun of them. So when they have a safe caregiver at home who just sits in that discomfort with them, oh gosh, that must have been so hard. I totally understand how you would feel that way. I would feel that way too. You're right to have seen that and felt XYZ. Oh, you fell down and now your knee is bleeding and you might be scared. I understand that. We're not fixing anything. We're not trying to solve the problem, give advice. We are allowing them to learn what it feels like to be human. I know we always want to jump away from that, but learning what it feels like to be human, learning that those are safe and they can trust their own feelings inside of them and that they have their favorite person on earth validating, seeing them, and acknowledging that it's true for them. As we know, it takes a village to raise our children, but more and more, we are doing the entire job on our own. And that stops today. I have created a parent community app focused directly on giving you essential support tools. The ResponseABLE Parenting Community Group is available now. In this community, you will have more parenting strategies right at your fingertips. You'll have direct access to me and my coaching every month in our live Q&As, where you can bring your burning parenting questions and get my real-time support. I will host monthly exclusive workshops, facilitate weekly skill-building exercises, and more. This space is designed to meet you where you are at on your parenting journey. It's a judgment-free zone with parents and caregivers who are learning and growing right alongside of you. For less than $1 a day, you will have access to exclusive parenting content and coaching. I cannot wait to be a bigger part of your parenting journey. Head over to ResponseABLEParenting.com to join today. Enter promo code PODCAST to receive $10 off your first month. That's PODCAST for $10 off your first month. My son really wanted to wear these shoes to school. We couldn't find them. And I just kept saying, I understand how much you want these shoes. And you're so frustrated. And you're frustrated that we looked everywhere and we couldn't find them. And you're really angry. And now you're yelling at me because you're trying to get it out. And I understand. And he just looked at me like, someone's seeing this? Someone is acknowledging that this thing that seems crazy, I'm upset about the shoes. It's my current reality. It is so true for me. And she sees that. And she sees this. And she's acknowledging it's true. The more we can acknowledge what is true for our children, the more their self-esteem grows. Empathy is a huge conduit to this growing sense of self. Not having to change and morph who you are as a child in order to stay in favor. Because we all know meltdowns are very frustrating. Tantrums are frustrating. Big feelings are frustrating. Learning curves are frustrating as parents. But when we can understand that that's part of the human experience and the part of human development, and not put all of our past discomfort and the way we were shamed for maybe not nailing it the first time, if we don't put that on our children, instead we validate their experience and we support them through it, the next time they experience this, they have the wiring and the circuitry in their brain letting them know that they're okay. It's a huge gift, but it takes a lot of practice as a parent to do that. Our first step is usually to try to just fix the problem so we don't have to experience the discomfort. But I will tell you, the faster you can jump to empathy and the longer you can stay in it, the faster the meltdowns will stop. The faster they will know and pull from their own strength and their own remembering of the event, that they can say, "Oh, I actually know how to do this. I've got this. You know what? Last time I had this experience, I know what to do." And it's that gift that we can give them of wiring their brain in an empathetic way so that they're not sitting internally beating themselves up internally and creating a whole different storyline about themselves, about their worth, whether they're enough, and all the labels, or I'm stupid, I can't get this right, I'm not worthy of people's time, I should just be quiet, no one wants to listen to me anyways. All of those storylines, we can really have a tremendous impact just by using empathy as parents. So, what does empathy as parents look like? Well, first of all, we're not fixing it. So, just take that off your list. You don't even have to show up and fix it. What a relief. You don't have to fix your kid's problem. So, that's amazing. You don't have to be the all knowing who has the answers and can solve the problem. Okay, so take that off the list. Step one, don't try to fix it. Then you're just sitting there and you're narrating what you see, and you're kind of probing a little further and saying, I bet it feels like this, or I wonder if you're thinking this, right? Especially if they have not experienced this and they don't quite have the skills to link a feeling to what's going on for them. So they don't have the language of like, this is frustration. They could just be like, I'm super angry, but they're like, well, I'm actually frustrated, or I'm actually sad, or, all of these things. So putting language to the feeling and just sitting in it with them, continuing to validate and to narrate what you see in front of you. Eventually, they will feel so seen that they don't need to continue to escalate. It's like when we're in a fight with somebody, we are saying our point louder, more frustrated, more angry. We're starting to feel like crazy in our brain. We're like, how does this person not hear what I'm saying? So we start screaming. We start, we're fighting. Same thing for our children. If they don't feel like you fully understood what they're trying to say, that you haven't grasped how they're feeling, they're going to continue to escalate the meltdown until you hear them. So the first thing you could do is just let them know you hear them and see them. This is what I'm seeing. This is what I'm hearing. I'm here for you. You're safe. I've got you. And that's it. We don't need to do anything more because they will actually feel that their parent was there for them in the way that they actually needed, in the primal, primitive way that they needed, which was just to feel seen and heard and understood. So the next time you find yourself in fix-it mode, pause, stop for a second, and just go, wait, I don't have to be fixing this problem. I just need to let my child know I see them. So narrate, 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 and see how that starts to change the outcome. Thank you so much for listening. It's always a pleasure to be here with you. Until next time. Thank you for listening to the ResponseABLE Parenting Podcast. If you like what you heard, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. If you know someone who would benefit from this podcast, I'd be honored if you'd share this episode with them. Until next time, know that you are enough, you are capable, you've made it through all of your hardest days, and we will keep growing on this parenting journey together. This podcast was produced by Kim Kelty and myself, Becky Jennings, and edited by the Kelty Method Branding and Podcasting.